Hi, I'm Bobsto, the Elder Weeb,
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
and we are the Anime Boys.
The enemy
The
bees.
Anime Boys.
Yes,
Hell yeah,
sir.
the
Let's
Anime
do it.
Boys.
Let's do it.
That's who we be.
Let's do it.
And today we're finally getting back to Demon Slayer.
Yes, sir. Finally.
After a week delay, shit just kind of got on top of us and whatnot, and we unfortunately weren't able to record this part last week like intended. But hey, we're doing more Demon Slayer now, and we're excited to talk
Yay.
about it.
We are going to
Some good shit
finish
happened.
this series.
Yeah,
We're going to finish it at some point.
it was the perfect storm of, oh, we'll get this series finished before the October anime release, followed by, oh no, life's just gonna get in the way of both of you guys,
Nah, let's just
and
not let
have
that
you
happen.
grab you guys by the fucking nuts. We're
I like-
supposed to be like 2 episodes ahead,
Yeah, we really are. But you know what? It
But
is what it is.
that's
It
just
is
how
what
it be.
is.
We're gonna go with the flow, and we're gonna continue on with our epic journey of Tanjiro and his very cute demon sister Nezuko.
And a few other extras.
So the last episode we finished up the arc with Kyogai. Tanjiro took him out, and he's heading out to find, oh shit, that weird ass boar man is like beating up Zenitsu.
Yeah, just bashing his fucking head in.
It's fucking
He just sees
fucking curb stomping.
Zenitsu. He just sees Zenitsu hugging his box that has his sister in it, and like the big boar hat guy is just kicking Zenitsu up against the box.
Yeah.
Zenitsu is just bloody, beaten, holding
Yeah.
on to this box for dear life. And
It's like, come on, there's a demon in there. Let me kill it. I don't want to have to kill you to get to it.
and then it's just he's just sitting there getting his ass kicked. And was it explained in the last episode
Yeah.
why
it was, I believe.
Zenitsu was yeah, he was holding on to the box?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so at
Yeah.
this point we get some fast action from
Yeah.
Tanjiro. So first,
Yeah, dude.
Boar Hat Man gets yeeted by Zenitsu, and now he's about to get
Yeah.
yeeted again.
Because as soon as Tanjiro sees this and sees Nitsu all bloodied and shit, and this dude just trying to get into his box,
Dude,
fucking Tanjiro's like, yo, fucking stop that shit. He just decks the dude super fucking hard.
in the ribs, dude.
Breaks
breaks his
Breaks
ribs.
his fucking ribs.
You can hear them crack. It was just so hard of
Yeah.
a fucking hit. It sounded awesome. It was just like you could see the impact of his fist when he hit him. Like, you know that little, like, whenever you punch somebody, it like ravels their skin up a little bit, and you can see
Yeah.
like the indent of how far your fist goes in. Like, that's what you were seeing, and it looked so cool. Like, it's just the whole, like,
Yeah.
the way it was animated looked fascinating to me.
Mhm.
Not that I'm some serial killer who gets off on people getting beat and stuff, but
But
don't put me on
listen,
the watch
serial
list.
killers are people too.
Like, don't put me on the watch list. I'm joking.
Oh, you are. You are. I'll be sure to it. Dumb or light.
But no, let's he goes in and breaks his fucking ribs, and
Yeah.
he just it does nothing to the boar hat guy.
Yeah, dude's a fucking lunatic. He's just, his only response, he just begins just to laugh.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro's just like, dude, like, I don't know, you got a broken rib, but I think you need to calm down a bit.
Yeah, and like Tanjiro was just trying to get him off Zenitsu, and he just heard fight, and he's just a beast of a man. So he was doing all these contortions and stuff as he was fighting Tanjiro, and the fights looked, oh my god, the fight looked amazing.
Dude.
When it got into the 3D animation of the fight itself, I was like, holy crap. Like the way he was contorting his body and like getting down on all fours, like in like a beast formation. And we got into like a trickle of what Borhat actually uses as a technique, and that's beast breathing.
Beast breathing.
Yeah, beast breathing technique. And we really got to see more of what Borhat can do other than just running in and fighting stuff for no reason. We got to see his techniques a little closer and how good he is at close combat.
He's a beast at fucking close quarters combat. There's one image that always sticks in my mind. That's when he charges up to Tanjiro, grabs onto Tanjiro, is just like spinning around him, doing all these fucking acrobatic shit, like around Tanjiro's torso.
Oh yeah, it's like super cool. The
fucking
and
crazy.
Just the slowed down, like actual like back alley brawl that they were having. Just a fist fight was insanely cool. It was like watching two kids fight in high school. It was like, holy crap! Except with a little bit more force. Like, but Tanjiro, like Tanjiro just ended it with a fucking infamous headbutt.
Yeah, dude, it's really hard. He's got an extremely hard head. Like I say, it's like a T-1000.
He grabbed the hat and just rammed him in the head, and just instantly the guy gets back up.
I always was going to talk about how fucking crazy this dude is, because like as he's fighting one, he fights super low. Like as Sandra says, like he says he fights like a boar almost.
Yeah, he laid down on the ground to avoid a roundhouse kick.
Yeah, he did what was it, a scorpion kick where he just fucking
pretty much like it was
kicks all the way back. It's like shit. And there's also, while he has broken ribs and Tanjiro's trying to just appeal to him, instead he's like, I don't care, and just fucking bends all his torso all the way back to where he's coming through between his legs. Yeah, and he's just laughing like a fucking madman.
Just like bend, like you could see he like put his head in between his legs so he could look at Tanjiro in between his legs, like the pretzel acrobat ladies. It was like, dude, like chill out. It's not that serious.
He's doing that with broken ribs.
But after he after all this is going down, he goes to try to fight again, and his adrenaline finally wears off. And we find out that he had a concussion from the headbutt, and he passes the fuck out.
I like how one of the kids is like, hey, one of the kids that Tanjiro stays is like, hey, can I rub your head? And he's like, yeah, sure.
Sure.
Dude.
Because Tanjiro has like titanium between his fucking skull, I think. Like it's
like he's got a fucking metal plate almost.
Dude, it's like he's invulnerable to head damage. Maybe he was born with an extra layer of bone.
Maybe. Extra thick.
Extra thick. You got to put that tongue between your teeth when you say it. Thick.
We get this bit where actually before the dude passes out, we get this bit where his mask falls off. You think, okay, given the rest of his attitude, he might just be like this dude, like covered in scars and whatnot. Mask falls off. He's just like a really good-looking dude.
No, he's just got like a pretty face. Like he's a pretty boy. It's crazy because everybody's just like, that's this guy, like. Yeah, I think Zenitsu even said like, "How dare he acts the way he does and looks the way he does."
He gives his name, and so like his name is Inosuke Hashibira. Yeah, and Tanjiro's like, "Oh, how do you write it?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't know how to fucking read and write.
I just know my name.
I just know my name." I like his backstory of. He joined Final Selection. He was just chilling out in the fucking mountains one day, and a demon slayer shows up.
Yeah, and he takes his sword from him.
He just fucking highwayman's a dude and takes his sword, and he's like, "Oh, this Final Selection, huh? I'm gonna fucking come. And do it. Why? I'm gonna come. I'm gonna take part in it. Sounds fun." And thus he just and ends up becoming a demon slayer by just stealing another dude's sword.
Oh yeah, it's like stupid the way he got his swords, man.
Yeah.
And then he took his swords and jagged, he took a rock and bashed segments into his blade to make it into a hacksaw.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
That technically comes later, but yeah, dude, I love the shit.
No, he has the swords that are jagged.
Yes, but he doesn't do that until much later on. So at first you think, oh, they're serrated by design.
Well, it's still I doubt it, but sure.
No, that's what I'm saying, because you don't know that he makes them serrated himself until towards the end of the season. Yeah,
but
yeah. But anyways, dude's passed out for a little while. He comes back up, and the Tanjiro and crew are gonna do a burial ceremony for the bodies in the mansion.
And Inosuke
like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Inosuke wakes up immediately ready to fight. He's just ready to throw down. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we're creating a burial. And he's just like, nah, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. And Tanjiro's just like, you know what? Yeah, you would be too weak anyway.
Yeah.
And Inosuke's just like, what did you say?
That reminds me almost kind of like Bakugo, where there's scenes where Bakugo will be like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. And then they just challenge him.
Dude.
It's like, fuck you, I'll do it.
I'll do it, but not because you asked me to do it.
I'll do it.
I'm better than you, and I can show you, you stupid extras.
And it's like throughout them setting up for the ceremony, he's also just hitting his head against trees to try to harden his head.
Yeah, he's trying to harden his head so he can take another headbutt. They start traveling back down the road, and a crow comes down and talks about that they have to split ways now because they got another job. Or no, they have to rest. And so the crow walks up to the kids and pukes up a demon repellent into their hands.
Yeah.
He's like, here.
Yo, this will keep you safe.
And basically it's just what was it? It started with a W.
It's Wisteria.
Wisteria. That's what it was. I think it was just in a little pouch.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of Wisteria in a pouch.
Then they just wear it on their hips, and it keeps demons from coming to them, which is cool because the kids then go off on their own little path, and Zenitsu gets knocked out. Doesn't he just pass out from fear of the crow or something like that?
I think Tanjiro gives him a judo chop, because I have that in my notes.
Oh, that's right, because he starts yelling because he doesn't want the kid to leave. That's what it was. Yeah. He's holding on to the kid. He's like, don't leave me. You're stronger than me. And he just judo chops.
He's just like, judo chop.
But Inosuke just keeps mispronouncing Tanjiro's name through so far.
Yeah, dude.
He calls him not Tanjiro, but Kanjiro at one point.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty good.
Kanjiro.
But yeah, they're directed to this house, and this one, I think one thing I like about Demon Slayer is that it's the very I'd say its core theme is family, because there's so many things within the series involving families.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Tanjiro and whatnot. When we get to the Hashira, even though they're all still members of the Demon Slayer core, they're almost treated like one big family.
Right.
And here we get this house, which is comprised of a family that were once saved by demon slayers and have dedicated themselves to putting up safe houses and refuges,
which is
for
really
demon slayers.
Cool, man. I really like that they have this own little free spa for demon slayers. And I wonder if the demon slayers fund it in any kind of way. Like they never
I
explained
don't know.
it.
It might
I
just be
think
just them.
I think
I think
it's
it's just
like
they just converted their houses
well,
into
I think it's not even
it's like an
that.
Airbnb.
I think it's like they open up shop for other like normal pedestrians,
Yeah,
but like when demon slayers come along, they get all the treatment for free kind of situation.
maybe I don't
Maybe it's
know.
never really
They
explained, but
fucking,
I was just
it's a demon slayer Airbnb.
yeah, pretty much. except except it's like a steal on Airbnb.
Yeah, they get fucking pajamas, nice fucking beds, a nice fucking
hmm
futon,
Dude, it's
food, shit ton of food.
dude, they get and then they get
Yeah.
Inosuke eats his fucking food as a challenge.
Yeah, he's like grabbing some of the food closest to Tanjiro, trying to egg him on to eat faster.
No. He eats it because he's trying to prove that he's better than
Kind of proving
Tanjiro.
you better,
And
Tanjiro. Yeah,
Tanjiro's just like, if you're that hungry, you can have my food. And it
yeah.
frustrates the shit out of Inosuke. He's
Uh,
basically just challenging him, but Tanjiro's just blowing him off the whole time. Uh,
yeah,
but
dude.
while they're here at
Also,
this little thing, they're getting looked at by a specific doctor, which I wasn't paying that much attention. Is it the same doctor that came to visit the old man who looked after
uh,
Nezuko? I never
I'm
really looked,
not so
but
sure. I didn't pay attention, but it's just a doctor comes to
it
check them out.
yeah, it's not that
Fucking
important. But
Inosuke has a huge ass bump left on his head from the headbutt.
yeah, I have that put on here too. He just has a huge bump on the side of his head. Um, but basically, they all have broken ribs. Like all of
Yeah,
them.
they're all fucked.
They're all
They're all
just
horribly
super
fucked up.
fucked, dude. But the old lady is just on top of her shit, dude. She
Yeah,
is every time they go somewhere new, she's completely got everything ready, like super fast. And Zenitsu even makes a comment calling her a witch and shit. It's so
yeah, dude.
stupid.
Because she has everything prepared, including the food, with portions specifically to make sure that all of them get well fed.
Yeah, I know it's really fucking awesome, dude. Um, so I think that's where we found out that Inosuke stole another Demon Slayer sword.
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah,
Uh,
which is still just really fucking
it
good.
was so good because I just had it written down at this point, but man, it was the way that he just took it because the Demon Slayers were just coming through his like land, basically,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "You can't beat me," and he just overpowers the guy, takes his
Hmm.
fucking sword.
Yeah,
He's like, "Oh, this is mine now." It's like his lunch money pay toll to
yeah,
cross
dude.
through.
Yeah, dude.
It was so funny, dude.
Imagine, I feel bad for that poor dude talking with his swordsmith. They're like, yo, how the fuck did you lose your sword? It's like, dude, some weird guy in a boar hat stole it from me.
Some half naked boar man stole my sword.
You let a demon have your sword? I don't think he was a demon, sir.
I think he was just a boar man. Like, I don't know. Oh
Man.
shit, dude.
Yeah,
But
but
no,
Zenith, they're chilling out. Zenitsu's like, yo, Tanjiro, why do you carry a demon anyways?
oh shit, we get into this part.
Yeah, yeah.
So God, I hate Zenitsu so much, dude. Like he might be cool and all, like when it comes to combat, but I just can't get into his
A lot of
character
his
at
coolness,
all.
I think a lot of his coolness comes later on.
Maybe.
Um,
Apparently, a lot of his like characteristics start shooting out whenever we get to the second season, which is the train. From what I've
yeah.
heard. But right now I don't like him, and so he starts asking Tanjiro all these questions about just in general why he carries around a box and or a demon in his box, and
Hmm.
at this point. Inosuke's just passed the fuck out in his hat, like just laying down.
Hmm.
Um, and when Zenitsu finds out why he's carrying the Nezuko, he lets Nezuko starts coming out of the box, and it freaks him out for a second, and he's just terrified about the demon coming out.
Yeah. Like, oh, it might be some horrible monster. It could kill me. And he sees it's a cute girl. It's like, what the fuck? You've been keeping that in that box the entire time, you motherfucker?
You've been carrying a woman around with you, and you didn't let me know.
I could have asked her to marry me, you motherfucker.
Oh my gosh. But he's just very flustered. Just very, very flustered. And Zenitsu uses his ability on Tanjiro, but epically fails. Doesn't get to Tanjiro.
Yeah.
That's where the episode ended right there.
Yeah, then we carry on, and it just
Excuse me.
And it just carries on to the next episode pretty flawlessly.
Yeah, it really does. It picks exactly up where we left off. The next morning, they wake up. Zenitsu starts, oh, Tanjiro! Tanjiro! How are you doing today, Tanjiro?
Yeah.
Oh, so he immediately starts hitting on Nezuko. And Borat, he just ends up I think he is outside. And he's just chilling.
Yeah, he's just chilling outside.
And while all that craziness is going on inside. And the old lady basically comes in and what? What'd you say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it's like fucking Zenitsu's just chasing Nezuko around the fucking room.
Yeah. Well, he's chasing Tanjiro and Nezuko around the inside of the thing.
Around the room. Yeah.
And but the boarhead or Inosuke is just sitting outside, and he just wants some damn food. He's hungry. So the old lady brings him food. Cleans up, takes all of his laundry and cleans him up pretty much. And let's just talk about how at this point in time, I think the day of, we were talking about how my dad would mispronounce tempura. He asked me 6 times what that plate is. And I always tell him tempura, and it irritates the shit out of me. I have to explain it to him every time. And they offered tempura to Inosuke in the show, and it just came full fucking circle.
Yeah, it did. I remember we laughed as soon as she started talking about tempura.
Yeah, it was
yeah. But this lady talking with her, you can have some nice fresh tempura. You can have, you can wear these robes while we wash your clothes, and this causes Inosuke just to become very giddy and super excited. So excited, in fact, that he comes and starts chasing Zenitsu.
Dude, yeah, he just gets so excited about everything that's going on. He starts joining in on the goose chase inside. And
then Nezuko's just in the corner, super confused.
But the doctor ends up healing all 3 of them, and now it's time to get back to work. They all 3 get summoned northeast, northeast.
Yeah, dude.
To the forest, northeast, the forest.
Yo, bitches, y'all going to a mountain today.
A mountain filled with demons.
Yeah.
So the old lady is just an amazing person. And Inosuke, as they were leaving, she gives Inosuke and all of them words of encouragement. And one of the coolest parts about, with them on their way to the next job, he starts talking about why the old lady, why did she say stuff like that?
Why did she say that she's going to pray for our safety?
Exactly, Inosuke almost floored this old lady for wishing them luck on their journey. And on the journey, Tanjiro starts explaining the old lady's words, and he's just still super like suspicious of everything because
well, I don't need her luck.
Well, like you have to think too. Like this man grew up in the woods, raising himself.
He just grew up in the fucking mountain.
Yeah, so like he raised himself with the animals of the woods. So like you have to think like he's not used to words of encouragement and like why people would be praying for them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Tanjiro just gets tired of explaining all that with Inosuke. So he starts walking faster, trying to get away from the two of them. And as he starts getting like further away, Inosuke takes it on as a challenge, like a race. They start taking after Tanjiro. So they're all running up to their next job, and so basically they finally get up to
the mountain.
Yeah, to the mountain, and Tanjiro gets this really malicious scent in the air. So as they're reaching the tree line, Inosuke just kind of jumps up and he's like, well, are we going to go or are we not going to go? And Tanjiro is just like, oh, well, if you're going to go, I'm going to go. And Zenitsu's like, fuck you guys, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm going my own way.
Zenitsu just sits,
blackjack and hookers.
It'll have blackjack and Nezuko. But Zenitsu ends up stopping and staying outside, and we get into the scene with Tanjiro and Inosuke getting further into the woods, and they bump into. They found a kid demon slayer on the ground, just wounded, and gets yeeted back into the woods, which looks
dude, I have the exact same thing written down. I have the exact same thing written down that the dude just gets yeeted into the forest.
He just gets yeeted into like the deep darkness of the woods, and they're just like, "What the fuck just happened? What just happened to that guy?" They're just murmuring.
Most people get yeeted out into things. This dude got yeeted into something.
Yeah, that dude just got pulled into the pit is what you but Inosuke isn't afraid of anything. So basically we get a scene where they're getting a little bit further in and they find a group of demon slayers, and we figure out that the new demon that we come across uses basically like webs or strings to attach to their body, and she controls them like puppets on a string. She's not in their heads, she's not controlling their thoughts and emotions, she's using the strings to move their bodies, which is really cool, with the use of tiny spiders running on the ground all through the forest. Because who's gonna look at a tiny spider that small?
Tiny spider,
and I thought that was just super duper cool.
So fuck. I have obviously, like before this, we just get this fucking scene of just like corpses just hanging from trees.
Oh yeah, we get corpses hanging from trees. We get this. We get a glance. Sight. We get a glance of the two demons. We get a really big, tough looking demon off in the distance, just a black outline of a character or a demon, and then we get a glance of the demon who's behind the strings, which is really cool. I like the design of these demons in this area.
Yeah, the spider demons
really cool, so dude. Good. They look really, really nice. But essentially, spider webs are everywhere, and Inosuke does not approve. He does not approve of all the spider webs everywhere.
What are these stupid fucking webs?
He's just like, what are these things surrounding me? Like, You would think with him being in the woods his entire life, you know, he would understand what they are, but whatever.
Maybe spiders weren't really common in his region.
Maybe, but spiders are common in every region. There's spiders
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Like, so I don't know, but we're not gonna get into that. So Tanjiro, I think at this point that they're trying to block off like the. My notes are a little scattered. You take it from here.
Yeah. Okay, so what it seems. Let me pull up the point in my notes. Is that so? We come across one guy who's like freaked out. It's like, well, what rank are you guys? And they're like, well, we're Mizunoto. And we find out, oh, they've been throwing a bunch of fucking low rank demon slayers have been tossed into the forest because they thought, oh, it's like a low rank demon sighting. So we need so a bunch of low rank demon slayers should cut it.
Yeah.
And well, then it just turns out, and he's like talking about, oh, well, then all of a sudden we just went into a frenzy, started attacking each other. Yeah, because they were being puppeted by the threads, and it's such a fucked up like thing. It's like, imagine just being like chilling, trying to locate a demon, and all of a sudden you just start killing your own squad.
Yeah, like without knowing why. They're just sitting there like, what is controlling my body right now? Because you can't see the strings. You can't see the strings at all that are attached to you. So you're just sitting there like, I can't stop my body. I can't stop myself, but I'm murdering my friends.
Then we get the scene where we got the leader of the corps sending out. He's like, well, it seems like shit's getting pretty bad, and I believe he says even there's like a member of the Kizuki there. So we're gonna have to send out some Hashira. So he sends out one lady and another guy that we've seen, Gyu.
Oh yeah, Gyu, and then you got the butterfly lady.
Shinobu.
I call her the butterfly lady, and she will be nothing else.
Which with Gyu, you would think like, oh, he's just from episode 1, like, oh, he's just like an experienced demon slayer. It's like, no, he's a high-ranking demon slayer.
A fucking Hashira, which is he's the.
That's where you go on.
I said Hashira are the highest level of demon slayer that you can grow up to be. Just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. But that leads to some questions of, well, since the demon that he was sent to kill that attacked Tanjiro's family gets you noggin jogging of, oh shit, they really weren't dealing with just any old demon.
Yeah. It's
since his fucking MJ, he was sent to go try to take on MJ.
Yeah, and he didn't realize that he was gonna have to go take on him. Kabitsuji. You know, I would have loved to have seen his face if he would have got up there in time and saw MJ just slaughtering someone's family. Like,
yeah, dude.
He just been like, see ya. Be like that guy in the meme where he puts his peace sign up and he just dips the fuck out.
Yeah.
But anyway. So,
we get a scene with Zenitsu. He gets fucking bit by his bird.
Yeah.
Zenitsu's a little shit that even his bird doesn't like. His little ass sparrow.
I said, the sparrow said, get your bitch ass up.
It's like shit talking him.
Yeah, but basically, he only gets up and leaves because he starts to realize that Nezuko is with Tanjiro.
Yeah.
He's like, you brought that beautiful lady into the woods with you to get injured and hurt? How dare you? I'll never forgive you, Tanjiro. It's time to go. I'm coming to save you, Nezuko. Like, just
hell yeah.
He's on his way. And then basically the group hears a weird sound followed by some more murderous demon slayers, which at this point is snapped back over to Tanjiro and Inosuke and the other demon hunter or demon slayer. And they have like to describe the way that they're moving. Like look at like a wooden puppet, like from I don't even know the era of when wooden puppets were cool, but like just how autonomous that their movements are. It's very like creaky. Like imagine watching Silent Hill and seeing the nurses.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of imagine them moving in my head, like the way they look on the screen.
It's very jerky. It's not smooth because literally, like their limbs are being forced to move rather than moving naturally by themselves.
But Tanjiro is not attacking. But Inosuke says, "Nah, fuck it, I'm going in." They're being controlled by those threads from the demon, and basically the bad odor that's going on right now is throwing Tanjiro completely off. So he can't focus on what he's doing. But Tanjiro starts to realize that these strings are what the smell is coming from. And he starts to realize that these strings are controlling the people. So and where the strings are coming from the spiders. So they start trying to cut all of the strings away from the demon slayers, but they just get reattached almost immediately after being cut free. So
because there's so many of these like tiny spiders just constantly around putting strings on these demon slayers.
Yeah, so it's like basically it's the way that they come up a way to beat it was super fucking cool. So Tanjiro comes up with this idea to get their strings tangled up in the tree limbs. So instead of killing the demon slayers, he just yeets them into trees and gets their like when the puppet strings get all tangled up when you're trying to use it and you have to untangle everything. That's basically what it was doing. And as all this is going on, we get this crazy scene where Inosuke uses his echolocation.
He's got super intense echolocation.
Dude, this looked so fucking cool. So as he's using the echolocation, he figures out the source of the puppets, and we get a slight vision, or like a slight like introduction to one of the other spider family members in the treetops, and he's basically just, you won't take down our family. Basically, that's what he's saying. He's like, leave our family alone. Get out of here. We didn't ask for you to come here. And that's basically where that episode ended. None of your business. Yeah, it's none of your business. And he's just like, he's just trying to get them to leave, but nah, it's too late for that. It's it's
much too late.
Yeah, that brings us into the next episode. So it cuts into Zenitsu in the beginning, and it's him simping so damn hard that he's out of breath.
He's a big simp. Listen, if this guy to Twitch, he'd be tier 1.
Yeah, and then after we get that little short scene of him getting stopped and getting out of breath on the tree, it cuts us back over to the fight between Inosuke and Tanjiro and the other
slayers.
Guy. Yeah. And the other demon slayer called Inosuke a stupid boar. You don't fucking do that.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't like being dissed.
Yeah, pretty much. So they end up running into all the spider webs, and Tanjiro is just telling them, "Hey, chill the fuck out. It's time to focus. If you're not gonna focus, just fucking leave." Essentially. And they run in all these spider webs, and we run into this chick, like she's another demon slayer, and it's from another group of demon slayers, and she exclaimed that she's not in her right mind because the chick made her kill all of her friends, and she did.
Yeah.
And we get this really cool ass scene where the son comes up to the mother and tells the mother that if you don't end this soon, I'm just going to get father.
I'm going to tell father. And she is shit scared of both him and the prospects.
Dude, she gets fucking terrified.
Yeah.
But I'll let you take it from here.
But yeah, no, that's why, like, it's like, so, like, at first, like, this fucking demon. And you see, like, what the actual dynamic is between these demons and how fucking shit scared they are of both, of Rui here and some of the other members of the family.
Yeah.
It's just fucking grim and kind of horrifying. And so we get, let's see. Let me get down to the note where it is. But the situation is super fucking dire for her. So, because with the prospect of the father being told, it seems that death is very much a slow and like painful death is very much like a possibility for her.
Yeah.
But dude, this fight is so fucking brutal.
Oh man!
With like the Slayers being puppeted because their limbs are being contorted in unnatural ways.
Yeah, so like
breaking their bones.
Yeah, like as they got everybody tangled up in the trees, she pretty much just said, after being terrified from the sun, she said, "I'm done with these puppets. They're useless to me," and murders them. Just
that's after they get them up in the trees. Like,
I said that.
Okay. Well, no, I was because we haven't got to talking about the throwing them up in the trees.
Oh, did I know? Shit, my bad.
No, you did earlier, but that's for like when they were cutting the threads in the last episode.
That's right.
But
yeah.
But here's where they actually start throwing them in the trees, and like fucking, I like how Inosuke is super excited, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna throw more people in trees than you, Tanjiro."
He turns everything into a fucking challenge.
Yeah, but it's like, but before they start throwing them in the trees, like I said, like they're like the way the body's being contorted and shit's like super fucking brutal.
Oh my god, yeah.
Where their arms are bent, all fucked up. Their legs are super twisted.
Dude, it's fucked up. It looks crazy.
It's so fucked. So Zenitsu's still fucking trucking.
Oh yeah.
He's still trucking, trying to fight. Even his fucking sparrows abandoned him. And it returns, but it's not very happy with him.
Yeah, which he's still on the grind, but he ends up getting completely lost. Like,
yeah. But and then we get to the scene where she kills.
Right. Okay.
The demon slayer.
Sorry, I jumped a little bit ahead. Yeah. So my bad. That was my fault.
I mean, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, dude, it's just that whole bit where she just fucking pulls basically the kill switch. You just see just this montage of several cuts of them all just getting their heads twisted back.
Dude, it's
like,
ugh. Oh.
Yeah.
Like in unison, all of their heads just get cracked and they're dead. Just like that. Like nothing happened.
So fucking grim. Like, it's been a while since I've seen an anime that's like not afraid to get like our manga to like go all that way. Yeah, like with something with a situation like this.
Dark. Like and as all this happens, Tanjiro gets pissed. He's so mad. And Inosuke just says, "Okay." He's just like, "Okay."
It's like, yeah. It's good. It's like shit. He's like so mad that even I don't want to fuck with him right now.
He really does. So it's time to close in on the headless spider.
Yeah, dude.
She basically uses her ultimate weapon, and it's a spider corpse thing with like cool like blades for arms.
Yeah.
Huge muscular fucking dude with no
and
head.
thick ass skin.
Yeah, no head at all. So no head?
No head, unfortunately.
Let me just crack my skateboard on the sidewalk real quick.
Oh yeah.
So Zenitsu, it cuts back to Zenitsu, and he's running, and he starts hearing things from behind him, and he just screams, just loud as fuck, scares the birds away. And
Mm-hmm.
Zenitsu is about to get creeped up from behind. um, and I think it shows it before it cuts back over to the Tanjiro scene. What's chasing him? I think it's like this.
No, that's in the next episode, I think.
Is it okay? I wasn't sure if it was this
I
episode or
think,
not.
yeah, because
But
I don't see it in my notes
I know
yet.
that
But yeah,
it keeps shooting over to him running, and it shows like a
yeah.
little shadow of something chasing him. So he's getting creeped on by this just something chasing him, and it cuts back over to the Inosuke and Tanjiro
Tanjiro
thing.
and Inosuke, and the way they fucking get this thing out is so cool.
Yeah, like the Inosuke just jumped straight into it too.
Yeah.
Inosuke just got super like into his fucking thing, and he just rushed in, and basically it was just dumb to do so because when he did that,
Mm-hmm.
It just sliced down, and when it sliced down, Inosuke said, "Oh, I can beat it," and he sliced the demon. But when he come back, he noticed that it cut him without him even fucking realizing it.
Yeah.
So it just gashed like huge like fucking like cuts in his arm and legs, in Inosuke's arm and legs. And basically Tanjiro at this point, he said, shut the fuck up, it's go time, listen to me.
We got a combo attack this motherfucker.
They have to use the power play, the flying boar breakdance.
Yeah. It's just fucking cool.
So it really fucking is, because they have to get this perfect to the letter. Because
Mm-hmm.
he has no head, so he has to carve just a centimeter left on top of his fucking head, like cutting a pancake, like off of his fucking
Dude.
neck. And I thought this was super cool. Just the way that it happened. If you want to go for it, go for it.
This is basically like fucking Tanjiro squats down with his back towards Inosuke, and Inosuke fucking uses like the box to like vault off Tanjiro's back, flips upside down, and just like flashes through the fucking doll. And it's so sick looking when it's like it's so sick looking in motion.
Oh yeah,
And they take it out with one fell swoop, and it's
and the mother has failed.
yeah.
She starts freaking out because that was her ultimate weapon, and she didn't know what else to throw at these two. And Inosuke picked up the scent of this woman, and it's time to close in for the kill.
On the way down.
Yeah, on the way down, he picks up her scent, like, which is crazy. And and he doesn't say anything to Tanjiro because the way it happened was he sees Tanjiro like fighting things, but not to just not for a challenge. He does it for everybody else around him, and this is where Inosuke starts noticing why Tanjiro fights. So I thought this was just a really neat, like, impactful scene between him and Inosuke. So he picks up the scent of the mother, and Tanjiro like gets back on the ground, and Inosuke just picks him up and fucking yeets him.
Yeah, dude. It's like, you don't know what to do. Just fucking go.
And Yeah, he's like, he'll know what I'm doing, and just yeets him into the air. And Tanjiro's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Oh,
Oh, yo, bitch, here I come.
basically, like he's just floating through the air, and she's freaking out because she sees him coming in. He's done sliced through all of her strings, and
Uh-huh.
he sees the little string of impact that he uses to determine when he can cut somebody's head off. And he goes in for like this really intense, violent, like slash down. And the mother just has a epiphany saying that she
Mm-hmm.
would be free if they just killed her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this is way better than having to deal with the other two. The fact
Mm-hmm.
that she wants to kill herself instead of dealing
Yeah.
with the other two says a lot.
Like about
And
what the situation is. So I got the perfect note for this.
yeah, go
So
for it.
she goes, she reaches her arms out, and then Tanjiro. It's this really tranquil scene of Tanjiro's fucking cutting through her, but it's no blood, no nothing. It's just water, and it's just
Yeah,
all nice. It's like bright white voice, like light, and it just looks so peaceful. And on my
it's
note, I just said, "Have her death was very beautiful and tranquil. She is at once at peace from the horror she is subjected to in her unwilling role as mother for her family."
oh, that was good. That is good. I like that a
Uh-huh.
lot.
And
Uh, I
it's such a nice fucking scene.
Yeah, because it gives us a little snippet of what she went through. Um, as you know, we get that scene. It cuts over to the father beating this woman into just nothing, and she doesn't even know
Mm-hmm.
what she did. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the brother or the son was just like, "Oh, you didn't even realize what you did. What a pity." And it's
Mm-hmm.
just this really sad, just
Yeah, it's
like
this entire arc is extremely fucked up.
it is really fucked up and
It
sad.
is.
But
Mm-hmm.
she realized how kind Tanjiro actually is, and she even vocalizes that he took pity on her even after everything that she did to those demon slayers. He saw
Mm-hmm.
the sadness and willingness to want to just give up, and
Yeah,
he laid down his iron hand, but with a slight mercy. It was a mercy killing essentially.
yeah.
But he
Mm-hmm.
had to take responsibility, or like she had to. He knew that she had to take responsibility for what she did, but he didn't want to treat her that way because she was forced to do so. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I thought that was just a really nice way to end her
It's
life.
it's really
Um,
it's really good. It's such a nice. It's almost like a painting, like with how beautiful it is,
right. And
and it's just
like,
man.
yeah. And upon
And
her
then before
death, she
I
mentions. Oh, sorry. Was you about to say
oh no
that?
no no I was about to say you go ahead and say it
Okay,
because
so
you're already in this
as she
thing.
was falling down, like her decapitated head, tells Tanjiro that a member of the 12 Kizuki are there. She doesn't specify which one's the 12 Kizuki, but she does mention
Mm-hmm.
the 12 Kizuki are there.
That
One of them. One
that a
of them.
member one of them is there, and we get into episode 17, and Inosuke is fucking covered in blood because he has multiple
Yeah, this dude is bleeding
fucking
out.
cuts in his
Like,
body.
yeah, he is just like insufferably bleeding. Um, and he finally catches up with Tanjiro, and basically Inosuke is just breaking down the other demons in the forest.
Yeah,
And it cuts over to Zenitsu, who is now not
yeah.
scared but irritated.
He's angry.
Like he's
He's like,
just
yo,
like,
fucking Tanjiro leaving me behind without even giving me Nezuko.
yeah,
You bastard. When I find you,
I will
oh, I'm
never
gonna give
forgive you
you
for this.
a.
I will never
And he,
forgive you for this.
yeah, and he feels a prick on his hand.
Yeah. And he starts to realize, like, he sees this baby head with arms, and I immediately went to Dead Space. Like, I
Yeah.
immediately went to the suicidal babies of Dead Space.
Yeah,
And
dude.
if anybody understands what I'm talking about, it's
Yeah.
creepy. It's so like creepy.
Hmm.
But Zenitsu starts running fast as fuck, and let's just keep in mind this man is running super fast, and this sparrow is fast as fuck right beside
Yeah,
him.
man. It's just like a fucking hummingbird.
Yeah, it's so fucking fast. But Zenitsu went down the wrong turn, and we get this really cool visual in the sky of a hanging cabin.
Dude, yeah, dude. It's
Ooh,
like sideways and shit.
yeah, we get a sideways cabin in the sky held up by a web, and on the extensions of the web, we got people hanging, like just
Yeah.
uh, half like poisoned, like people turning, hanging up in the sky,
Hmm.
and the we figure out that the other brother of the spider crew,
Yeah.
which is an actual fucking spider, might I add.
He's a,
He got
he's
the
a
short stick, is what he got.
Yeah, man.
Poor
I don't know. He
guy.
seems like he's pretty cool with being a dude that's just a human head on a spider body.
I guess so. It just, I don't know. I feel like I would want a body, you know.
Yeah.
But he's literally a spider with a human head, and
It's like, yo, bitch, you're fucking infected with our venom, and
yeah.
you'll start to slowly turn into one of these fucking horrendous human spider hybrids and become my spider slave.
Oh yeah. So like, I like this episode a lot because we get a lot of the lore behind Zenitsu, which is
Yeah.
really cool. We get another really awesome scene with Zenitsu as well.
Mm,
So once he figures out that he's been bitten and the spider explains to him the process in 1 hour that he'll turn into a spider
dude,
himself. um
I fucking love this one because he's explaining it by the hour, like what will happen to him
yeah,
by the
dude, it's
minute.
sick, like
It's
what
like
your
when it
body will
reaches
start
this
doing.
spot, yeah.
It's super cool, like,
Mhm.
um but and then as he figures that out, all the baby heads start crawling towards him, and he climbs a tree to get away from them, and he is pushing Zenitsu just past his fucking limits. Um, so much that it
Mhm.
shoots us back over to a backstory of where Zenitsu came from. And we
Yeah,
find out that Zenitsu was not always blonde. He used to have black
yeah,
hair, dude.
and
Like,
he was a Twitch viewer.
yeah. So we find out that a member, like a really high ranked member of the Demon Slayers, was training him, and Zenitsu called him Grandpa because he reminded
Hmm.
him so much of a family member that he loved so much. And because he'd never
Hmm.
had anybody to love, nobody, his parents abandoned him at birth, so he didn't really have anybody to call like
Hmm.
family. And he calls this guy Grandpa, and he runs up into a tree to escape Grandpa, and the Grandpa's just like,
Yeah,
"Get down from there! Get down! We gotta finish our training." And Zenitsu's like, "No, it's tiring. I
no.
hate it." Just the insanely annoying Zenitsu that we all know and love.
Hmm.
Uh, and as he's just sitting up there, he's just like, "I'm never coming down." He gets struck by fucking lightning.
Yeah,
How fucking unlucky do you have to be to get
extremely.
struck by
Man,
fucking lightning?
man, I wish my hair turned yellow after I got struck by lightning and not just
Dude.
possibly dead.
Yeah, his hair turned yellow. He and just got this really insanely cool power to control small bits of lightning, which is, awesome. Like,
Hmm.
so after we get this
Um,
like cool scene of him getting struck by lightning, Zenitsu starts to break down, and down he goes. He passes out, and he's falling out of the tree.
Yeah.
And
well,
go ahead.
I'm trying to think. I was gonna say there's one thing I do like that after this flashback, he has a couple of little lines where he's like reflecting on himself, and he talks about how much he hates his own cowardice and how he knows he's super pathetic and he hates himself for it.
Oh yeah, that is true. Like he starts trying to
That's kind of what I kind of like about his his dynamic, because like he's pathetic and he's annoying, but he's aware of that fact. Right. It doesn't feel like he can change it. It's pushing him closer to trying to want to change it.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah,
I think that with feeling this way and reacting the way he's doing, and the fact that he can't help being scared, really forces him to try to start being better as a person from here on out. And with that being said, he didn't listen to it, and he passes out, giving into his own fear. And as he's passing out, we all know that when Zenitsu's sleeping is when he's the strongest. So as he's falling down to the ground, the Spider Brother is just like, "Oh, this dude's an idiot. He's just gonna kill himself anyway. So just let him hit the ground, and then we'll just eat his body when he gets to the ground."
I got a good note. Says the big spider's confused but doesn't know how shit's about to go down.
So as he is falling down, the spider throws something at him, I think
so.
Or one of the little spiders launch at him, and this man just dodges mid-air. It was the poison venom he spits at him. That's what it was. The big spider spits venom at him.
He's like, I'll just put more venom into him to make it go faster.
Right.
And then his response is just, "Oh, fuck you," and immediately just
dodges midair. Like, he does this really cool twist to propel himself the other way in the air. I was like, that's crazy. But I'll let you go from here.
But so we get this nice flashback from his master where he's talking about, well, if there's only one, it doesn't matter how good you are, but if you can manage to master just one thing, then that's all you need. That's all you need. As long as you can pick one thing that you're just an absolute expert at, that's all that matters. And Zenitsu remembers those words, and he just goes fucking sicko mode.
Yeah, this is crazy, dude. And dude, this is just insanely cool. So Zenitsu might not know a bunch of techniques like the other demon slayers do, but he has mastered one technique fully.
It's just the first breathing style, the first lightning breathing style technique. That's all he knows.
Yeah, and it's insanely good though. Like, he does it so well. That he just has to get still. And the spider, every time he goes to line up and go to the same stance, the spider starts realizing that he only knows one technique. And excuse me, sorry. The spiders just start saying, "Oh yeah, it's time. It's time to fuck this guy up." So he finally got enough time to sit still, and that's where he fucked up. So he's rushing in, and he finally just breaks out his form, and he's rushing around the forest. All the spiders got yeeted off of him as he got overtook by the spiders in that zombie formation that they took Denji.
Yeah.
He just yeeted all those spiders off of him and started rushing towards the big spider. And the big spider said, oh fuck. He said,
no, I gotta get the
no.
fuck out of here.
He dipped out of the fucking way, and he goes to go inside of the cabin, and Zenitsu's like, come back here, bitch. Why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running?
And he goes in, just annihilates the spider midair, like in the fucking sky. Just
and
launches
it gives
up
a loud fucking thunderclap as well.
Dude,
when it
it's
happens.
so fucking awesome. And as that happens, go ahead.
I was gonna say, imagine the impact required for it to make that big of a fucking boom.
Dude, it's a boom so loud that here in the next episode, Tanjiro hears it miles away.
Yeah.
Like everybody in the forest heard it, essentially. And
yeah.
So as he did that, the spider's dead. He's going down. All of the little spider demons vanish away. But the ones that have already been...
The ones that are turned are still just sort of just chilling. You just don't know what to do.
Yeah, because they don't have a leader now. So, because they just got poisoned. It's sad to think that, that's the way it is, but it really is. It's just how it goes. So they're all just poisoned and don't know what to do. And after he does all this, he just kind of ragdolls and falls down.
All I can do is wait.
Now all I can do is wait and die. That's basically what he's saying.
He does something really clever. It's like, well, just in case someone does come to help me, I'm going to use my breathing technique to slow the poison.
Well, no, like at first he was just going to die, but his grandpa's words pushed him through in order for him to use his technique. Yeah. So that's why he chose to, keep living on, because his grandpa's just like, don't give up.
Mm-hmm. Because in that other flashback, there's another scene where like the one of the old guy's students is like beating Zenitsu up. He's like, you're not worthy of his teachings. He's like a former Hashira.
Yeah.
And
was he a Hashira?
And Zenitsu's
I didn't know that.
Hashira.
I thought he was just part of the higher.
Much like how Rokudaki was formerly a Hashira.
Yeah.
Zenitsu's master also was, and he's like that causes Zenitsu to reflect on how he realizes he has no meaningful connections, and the only one they had was the old man.
Yeah,
because he was the only one that actually believed in Zenitsu.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so his words pushes him through. He's like, I'll use my breathing technique to slow the poison. And let's see. Oh, there's another thing where he's talking about his dream where he wishes he is stronger and isn't a coward, where he's able to help people and not just run away.
Yeah, like he wishes that he could do stuff like that. And I think at this point, it starts to really weigh on him. Like if he comes back from this, he's really going to start changing for the better. But as that's going down, he starts fading away, uses his technique, and it cuts over to Tanjiro. And Tanjiro hears what? What were you saying?
Oh no, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, my bad. So Tanjiro hears the thunderclap and he's like, "Is it storming? Like, what did that come from?" And they see the little girl, which is the sister of the Spider Clan, and the Spider Clan.
The Spider Clan.
Sorry. So she starts running across the river, and basically she keeps running away, and they're chasing after her. Him and Inosuke. Inosuke finally catches up, but it was all just a big ruse to trap them for Father. Father shows up, and Daddy has to protect his family. So
stay away from my family, you fuckers.
Yeah,
he pulls up his the hair reveals his face, and it's a big old fucking spider face.
And Inosuke goes to try to whack him. Nah, Inosuke is about to get fucked, and Tanjiro saves his ass for a second time, dude. Second time this man gets saved by Tanjiro, which I think the first one we didn't really explain was whenever he was about to get fucked up by the big headless I call him the headless horseman. Tanjiro saved him from that too by pulling him out of the way from the attack. But this is the second time that Inosuke's been saved by Tanjiro, and I make that a point because it starts becoming a factor within the next few episodes. But that brings us into episode 18, where the father shows up. We get to see some more familiar faces, which is
Gyu and Shinobu have finally broken,
Butterfly Lady.
Have finally made it to that.
Butterfly Lady.
Shinobu, come on, man. Shinobu. Just saying.
She's a butterfly lady. She's pretty. Butterfly Lady. They
split up.
Yeah, they're just like, let's go kill these fucking demons and go home. And it cuts back over to Spider Dad, and he is crazy fucking strong. To the point that even Inosuke cannot cut through this man's skin. He's impervious to damage, or impervious to blades, for the most part, because his skin is so his skin is so thick.
Yeah.
I merged skin and thick in the same word.
Yeah. Poor Inosuke also gets like the bitch slap.
Yeah, dude. He goes to try to cut him up, and he just gets his sword stuck in his arm. And when he did that, he just gets his fucking shit pushed in, dude. Bitch slapped. Just as hard. And
Tanjiro's like, I'll fucking trap you with a log.
Inosuke starts running away like a little bitch after this, dude.
Yeah.
And they're running through the water, and the Spider Dad is just on his fucking heels. And Tanjiro's just like, I got a plan. So Tanjiro's running around the side of the river, and he finds a tree, and he waits for the perfect time, and he slices the tree in half, and the tree falls over on top of the Spider Dad. And as soon as he does that, Inosuke's just sitting there like, this is 3 times this man has done saved me. Like, I'm weaker than I thought.
He's just like looking at, every time it happens, he just looks over at Tanjiro. Like, it's like this like flower effect, and he's just like awestruck.
He's awestruck, and on top of this, he is suffering from severe blood loss at this point.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro goes to go in for the head cut, and the Spider Dad picks up the fucking tree and yeets Tanjiro with a home run.
That's a fucking grand slam, dude.
Dude knocked him so hard with that fucking tree. So I don't know why I put this, but it's never mind. So after he gets yeeted by the tree, he tells Inosuke to run. And so this is where he leaves Inosuke alone because he gets yeeted by the tree. And then it cuts over to Zenitsu, which is starting to die. But he just keeps hanging in there from Gramps' words, and then all of a sudden, someone shows up.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love how this scene is shot.
Dude, it is, because like the way it sits is so pretty that you can hear his grandpa saying these things to him, and he starts hearing this lady's words, but it's just a actual butterfly he can see, but it's like ethereal.
Yeah, it's very dreamlike.
It is. It's super cool. And then he finally like wakes up, and he sees Butterfly Lady standing right above him, and she's just like,
it's like, yo, man, you good?
She's like,
good, homie?
She's like, hey, you did pretty good. You started hanging in there whenever you started using your technique to slow down the poison. And she pulls out her magic handy dandy steroids and stabs him in the arm, and he just starts getting healed immediately, which is crazy. So we get this really cool scene where like all these doctors are getting the people down from the trees. Zenitsu's sitting there wrapped up all mummy like. which that might be in a little bit because I didn't have it written down, but
I think it is later. But our mans do look like a fucking mummy.
Dude, like they have them wrapped up in like a mummy type-esque thing.
Yeah.
And basically I think it's just healing rags. Like it's like rags that are like the demon slayers use a special like technique to wrap them up in like a healing like potion or something.
It's either like, that or it's just to make sure he doesn't move a single muscle.
Right. It could be like a thing that traps him in, but you know, it's not fully explained why it does, but it's really fucking cool either way.
Yeah.
But the butterfly lady saves Zenitsu, and it cuts back to Tanjiro. Yeah. But I'll let you go from here because I've been explaining a lot.
So Tanjiro is still falling, and he breaks his fall with a fucking water wheel.
Yes.
And as he's walking towards the forest, walking closer, he hears screaming, coming from the daughter who they were chasing, and she's being fucking scratched and tormented by Rui. And he keeps talking all about family, but he has this really, really fucked up view about what that even means.
Oh, yeah.
Because to him, it's like, family is like, you have these roles, and you got to stick to those roles, and if you don't, well, you don't deserve to be in the family. And a demon slayer shows up, and he's like super fucking cocky. He's like, I can take this fucker on. I'm bigger than him.
Yeah, if I can take this on, I can just move up the ladder a little bit quicker.
I can move up the ladder, and dude gets fucking laser hallwayed.
Dude, it's so crazy. He doesn't even move. He just
chopped and
falls off into pieces, dude, like little cubes.
Yeah,
and it's not those like big thick like meat cubes. It's like little tiny like little insect cubes. Like it's so crazy.
And Tanjiro, and all while it's like Tanjiro's like, what, you call this a family? You calling these actual bonds? And as he's saying this, Rui's getting even more pissed. And as he's getting more pissed, his aura is growing even more intense.
Yeah, this man has a bully complex.
Yeah, man. But so we cut back to Inosuke. If we're done with that scene.
Oh yeah, I'm done with that scene. It's over.
We cut back to Inosuke. And he's hiding from the father, trying to form some kind of plan.
Oh yeah, dude.
And he decides he's gonna try to run, but he's like, well, if I need to run back into it because I'm letting my guard down, because like, this ain't like you, Inosuke. You're not supposed to run away from fight.
Oh yeah, Inosuke starts realizing that he's running away, and Inosuke is just like, why am I thinking like them? Like, I shouldn't be thinking rationally. I'm a Inosuke, damn it.
I'm built different.
I have that written down, dude.
That's great.
Because I literally said, Inosuke stops thinking like a little bitch because he's built different.
Oh yeah. Sure, I might be bleeding out, and this guy is way out of my league.
Oh my god! But
still, gosh. I don't care. I'm Inosuke.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He runs up to the dude and hacks away the dude's arm by the fucking dude's arm.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
His sword in.
It's so fucking cool because
he slowly hacks away by just using his sword as a fucking hammer.
Dude, he just slaps it into his arm and just hammers away with his other one until he finally just cuts all the way through the arm. And then the spider dad's like, oh fuck. Like,
oh fuck, I'm running.
He's like, I'm dipping.
I'm gonna run. And in this case, is chasing after him. And then we cut back to
Tanjiro.
See, Tanjiro's, he's still fighting.
Yeah, and he starts having his guard up.
Tanjiro's still fighting with Rui.
I have this really funny note. It says Tanjiro has his guard up against Widow's Peak.
Yeah, dude.
I like that little, like, when he pulls out his, like, little widow's, like, I can't remember what it's actually called, but the cat's cradle or whatever, like, with the...
Yeah.
With the way he's got his, like, webs strewn. But it looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
And Tanjiro is nothing but a slave to the truth.
Yeah, man. That's bull. I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit, Mister. You motherfucker. And we cut back to Inosuke, and he senses where the father is gone, and the father's climbed up a tree and is just chilling.
Mm.
But that's just to buy for time, because what happens is the fucking father molts out of his skin into a much bigger and badder version of himself.
Yeah, this man literally just molts.
And dude, at this point, Inosuke is like actually pretty terrified of what he's facing off against.
Oh yeah, like he gives off just this ominous fucking like thing, like just this feeling overwhelms him of just being fucking terrified, and
and
he's just like, nah, fuck this. This is fucking scary. I'm out of here, dude. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. At first, he accepts his fate, but then he starts reflecting on what Tanjiro and the old lady has told him. And at this point, it's like, nah, fuck it. Even if I die, I'm gonna fight this to the bitter end. And so he swings at the demon, but sadly, the sword, the skin's so thick now that it's just broken his swords.
Yeah, it's like he got fucking yeeted, dude. Like.
Yeah, dude.
And this next scene this next. Go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
By the throat. That's all good. He grabs him by the throat, and it's highly implied that his throat got fucking crushed. It's just,
dude.
Ooh.
He gets his throat crushed, and then on top of that, he's just crushing Inosuke's head between 3 fingers.
Yeah,
it's crazy. This man's just got Inosuke's whole body picked up with 3 fingers. And just crushing it. Oh man, it's so cool.
Yeah, dude. He tries to go in for a neck stab, but it's just not working because this dude's skin is just too thick.
And at this point, Inosuke's life starts flashing before his eyes. He starts seeing his mother, who dropped him down into a pit, told him to live, and starts seeing old visions of what he used to do to survive, running around and shit. And as he's just sitting there about to give up, my boy comes in. Who shows up, Bobsto? Who shows up?
The fucking Ichigo. I mean you. Because he's I think I've told you, but he's voiced by Ichigo's voice actor.
Yeah, that's just funny, dude.
Mm-hmm. But this one thing I love about this arc is that even though the main trio, as you'll see, get like completely fucked up, this arc does a good job at showing the power gap that's between Tanjiro and his crew and the Hashira.
Oh yeah,
because Gyu comes in and fucking takes care of it immediately.
Oh yeah,
he's not even breaking a sweat.
He just cuts his head off. It's done. Over. Oh well. Whatever. Yeah. And it's so funny because as he's doing this, he takes Inosuke and hangs him up in a fucking tree. It's so, and Inosuke's just pissed that he just grabbed him, put him up in a tree in less than 2 seconds. And
yeah, dude, it's like, and Inosuke is like, how did you fucking do that?
Yeah, he's just like, I didn't even see you or feel you pick me up. Like, what's going on here? What is this madness? What is this wizardry?
Yeah.
But after all that, it cuts over to Tanjiro fighting the brother now, and Tanjiro is starting to smell his thread come in, and he goes in to try to slice off the head of what's his name again?
Rui.
And as he goes in, he sees the web come up to protect him, and Tanjiro is just like, oh, I'll just cut through it. It's fine. I'm just going to keep going what I'm doing. And as he goes to slice through the string shatters his fucking sword.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
I remember when we were binging this, we got to the end of this episode, and at first we thought, oh, we'll just end it. tonight, and then once we got to that cliffhanger, I remember you going like, "No, we got to watch the next episode."
Yeah, because I think it was just because I was tired, and I was like, we'll just end it there, and then we'll watch the rest at some point. And I was like, nah, we're watching episode 19. I'm finishing this fucking fight.
That perked you to fuck up.
I was like, let's watch this fucking episode. Like, we gotta watch it.
And oh man, here we go, episode 19.
Dude.
The episode. So you got a little ahead of yourself. This is where Inosuke gets incapacitated by Gyu.
Was it? Oh man.
Because Inosuke is like super amazed by Gyu. He's like, "Oh man, how did you do that?" And all that. Oh, when Gyu's just unimpressed by him, and then he roasts Inosuke about, "You need to train more." Also, because Inosuke thinks that he was fighting against a Kizuki because Tanjiro said, "Oh, that guy might be a Kizuki, so be careful." And Gyu's just basically like, "Yo, like if you can't even tell what
if you can't even tell the difference between a demon and a Kizuki, you have no right to fight me, of all people." He says you definitely need to train more. And Inosuke
ties up Inosuke.
He ties up Inosuke, and Inosuke's like, "It wasn't even me who said he was a 12th Kizuki. I just thought it was a 12th Kizuki because that's what Tanjiro said."
That's what Tanjiro said.
Blame him.
Damn, we got this. We said it at the same time, dude. Hell yeah,
dude. It was so funny, and he just starts fangirling over this dude. It's
yeah.
And
so we cut back to Shinobu, or you say butterfly lady.
Butterfly lady.
And she's oddly, she's got this weird cheery and slightly bubbly personality. Almost, it's like she's very cheery looking, but she also almost has like an emotionless like slant to that.
Yeah.
Where she's very just nonchalant and whatnot.
Yeah.
And she's waxing philosophical about near-death experiences and whatnot, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty neat. I forgot what exactly was all said, but
this is where we see the butterfly lady give him the antidote. And this is where we see him all wrapped up in all the bandages and shit.
It's where dude's a fucking mummy,
dude. Like. It was still cool looking though, but it cut so much to the best fucking part.
But now because those potatoes and rolls, they're pretty nice. But now here's the fucking meat.
Give me that meat, son. Give me that.
Here's the meat.
Ooh, give me that bistro.
So we're back to Tanjiro. It's his sword's broken. Thankfully, he only got grazed by the web.
Yes,
he didn't get fucked.
Yeah, he dodged the web that shattered his sword. Which is crazy in from the first part, but now it's time for Nezuko to bust out.
Yeah, dude, she busts out and steps in to save him.
I'm gonna let you explain the fight because I'm gonna get too excited. I can already tell.
Yeah, man.
Go for it.
Yeah, and so
I'm gonna let you explain the fight, and then I'm gonna give my whole spiel on it. So
yeah, man. So Rui begins to sort of shake and shiver, and he asks Tanjiro if Nezuko's his sibling. And he is absolutely shaken by their genuine bond. He's like, "You guys have the perfect bond. My family don't have the same shit that you guys do, and I want that. Can you just give that shit to me? Gimme. I want that shit."
He's like, "She's mine now." Like
he's got this really fucked up view that bonds aren't things that are grown and developed, but instead are like traits that are inherent.
Yeah.
And it's such a fucked view of how he sees family and whatnot. It's just damn. And so he decides to slash. He slashes Nezuko to try to get her to behave. And he talks to Tanjiro. He offers Tanjiro, he's like, "Yo, give me Nezuko, and I will spare you. I'll spare you. You won't have to worry about anything. And you know what? I will. I'll make sure she's taken good care of. She will learn to fear me."
Yeah, he's like, she will obey and be obedient, or else I will give her what for. Like,
yeah, because to him, what makes good bonds is fear, and not like care or consideration or anything else other than fear and power.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the cool reveal. It's like, if you think you can take me down, he fucking pulls back one of the bang covering his eye, and it shows, oh, yo, I'm a lower six member of the Kizuki, so good luck trying to kill me.
Yeah, that's where he
Which I
reveals that
think
he's.
it's such a cool reveal because it's like I said, the eye is covered by his hair,
Oh
and
yeah.
because the rank appears on the eye of the Kizuki,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Um,
that's really fucking cool.
he
But
cuts
so
his
that's where we get
fucking sister in half, dude. Okay.
yeah, dude.
It's
So this is where we get this fucking scene where he's breaking down. Like what I like about this is like this is like a lot of just like a back and forth between Tanjiro and Rui. So you get the scene where he's breaking down his whole warped view on family, where it has these roles. The family has its roles, and each role has to be followed to an absolute T,
yeah.
because otherwise it's not a good family. Um, but while Tanjiro is faced with this seemingly hopeless situation, he's extremely determined. And Rui is just continually, he's just still swiping up at fucking Nezuko, fucking cutting her and whatnot. He strings her up, and like the wires are cutting into her skin, and she's bleeding.
Oh
And he's like,
yeah,
don't
dude.
worry, I'll don't make me tighten them now. And it's just, oh man,
Yeah, like oh my
he
lord, like
threatens to leave her, that if she doesn't obey, he'll leave her hanging till daybreak. And it's just, man, it's just all sorts of fucked.
dude, it's
And
this fucking fight's
yeah,
insane,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
Oh
So
my
Tanjiro's
god.
getting beat. It seems super hopeless. He's like, yo, you know what? I'll give you a free hit. And Tanjiro goes in. Rui just fucking dodges super smoothly and just smacks the shit out of Tanjiro. And Tanjiro does get his head in, but the neck is way, way too thick for Tanjiro to even get close to cutting it.
Yeah, he starts like explaining that even if he could have cut him through, he wasn't gonna let him do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so
And
crazy,
then
dude.
Nezuko's getting angrier, but as she's writhing, he decides to tighten her wires. And she ends up passing out, and Rui just becomes even more fascinated by her.
Oh my god, this
Um,
fight's crazy, dude.
so so Tanjiro he releases his little total concentration, swipes at a thread, um, and then Rui does his art, and it's a huge ass cage of red threads that are super strong and are just gonna fuck him up if Tanjiro doesn't do something.
Right.
And
It's
while I got such a good note, as I say, trapped in a cage of death, Tanjiro's life flashes, and we get these series of flashbacks, and oh man, this is where the episode gets fucking so good.
dude, it's crazy.
So we
Like
get this nice little flashback. Oh, sorry, what? Do you want to
yes.
take it from here?
Yes I do. Okay, so this is so crazy. So as Tanjiro goes in to just get this, the oh my god, the awesome memory kaleidoscope. That's what I put in my
Yeah,
note because I got excited. It's we get just this really awesome like backflash of Tanjiro and his sister sitting there. Oh my god, dude, this is so crazy. Um, just an awesome like scene of Tanjiro and his sister just sitting there on the outside of their house, and their dad is sitting up on top of the porch at their house, and they're just playing in the yard, chasing butterflies, and oh my god, this is so cool. So like, as Tanjiro is just sitting there playing, he notices that his dad is sick, and it cuts over to a little small cutscene from the memory of Tanjiro's dad doing this really awesome, amazing fire dance,
yeah.
and
It's a Kagura dance for what they call Hinokami, which I'm going to assume is at this point like some kind of deity that Tanjiro's family keeps to. And it's just, dude, the fucking way the dance is animated. I don't know
Oh
if
my
it's like
god,
really
dude.
fluid, if it's really fluid hand drawn animation or if it's a CGI model, but it's such a nice
I would say it's a CGI
dance.
model. It has to be
But
the way that it's
here,
moving.
yeah, but here at this point, the music's starting to slowly creep in,
Oh my god, this really awesome
and it's
fucking
like
song.
piano. Yeah,
So
it's just a little piano just starts playing, and
yeah, and we like as the music starts playing, we get this like really awesome scene of Tanjiro asking his mom like, why is he dancing like this if he's sick? And she just tells him that this is the dance of like this is the dance of our tribe to ward off an evil spirit. And we do this generationally. It passes down from generation to generation, and we use this because we are fire bearers. And
yeah,
oh my god, this is so cool. So it cuts
yeah,
into a
it's the,
scene where he's sitting inside with his son, and he tells Tanjiro that this is my gift to you. This is my dying gift to you.
mhm.
I'm giving you the art of my dance, and I'm giving you my Fushiguro earrings, or whatever it's called.
Hanafuda,
Hanafuda
Hanafuda
earrings.
earrings.
I'm giving you my
Yeah,
Hanafuda earrings, and you will carry on the memory of the tribe's dance. And as this happens,
mhm. The music picks up, the
the
lyrics kick
oh my
in,
god, this amazing
and
fucking song that I listened to for 3 days after I watched this.
yeah, dude, yeah,
Tanjiro goes
it's
in for the kill. He uses his total concentration. He rushes in. He grinds through all of these fucking webs. And
it's not just
as
that the water has now turned to fire.
that's what I was trying to get into. He's passing
Yeah,
through all
okay,
these webs, and as he's going through, midway through, the guy just starts getting worried, and he starts using a harder like fabric of string. He's like, "Oh, you thought this was my strongest? Nah, not even close." He starts using this like red infused demon magic on his string that makes it tougher, and as he did that, Tanjiro starts doing the dance. And as he starts doing the dance, his fucking water sword, like water dragon, turns into a fucking fire dragon sword.
yeah,
And he rushes the fuck in. Comes in,
yeah,
pushes his fucking sword into the side of his neck. Okay, at this point, he starts trying to go through, but his neck is too thick. So we get this cool flashback of Nezuko hearing her mother talk to her and saying, "Your brother's in trouble. You have to help your brother." And as this happens, Nezuko unleashes her fucking awesome blood art, and it's explosions.
yeah.
It's blood explosions.
It's exploding blood.
So
Yeah,
she uses her blood to
and
run
man,
down the string onto Tanjiro's sword and uses it to explode the impact further through his head and cuts his fucking head clean off. It's so goddamn cool.
yeah.
And it launches
It's
his
like
head
it
off.
does like two different shots of it as well. It's like the initial impact, and it does a replay shot.
Dude, it's
And
so
it's
cool. You got the
man,
impact, and then you get the whole
this
scene of him cutting his
yeah,
head off, and we get this beautiful
but
visual of the sword slashing through. You see the fire from the sword, the explosions from the blood art,
mhm.
and just the blood from the demon rushing up into the sky with the fucking trees in the background, the sparkly effect in the background. Like the budget for this fight had to be in fucking sane, but it was so good.
uh-huh.
It was
It
so
was so
fucking
worth
good,
it.
dude. Oh my
And man,
god.
and it got to the point where even where we got through the end of this episode, Red wanted me to go back and just play it
I
again.
had to. I could
So
not
he
watch that
watched
just
it
one fucking
again.
time. And
Yeah, because
man,
it's
it
so
got
good,
so
and
good we had to
it
pause the fucking video just so I could
yeah,
capture the moment
just so
better.
you can
In my,
catch up. Yeah, yeah, because
it was
um
oh my god! And just talking
because
about
like
it now, it
it's
just gets me all worked up. I fucking loved it.
yeah, dude.
Um,
Like this particular one, like it fucking hits you hard. Like, it's just like a mixture, just perfect mixture of animation, music, and emotional storytelling, just all wrapped up into this nice bundle,
just this,
and
it's
it's
like
so good.
in the matter of 5 minutes, it packs in the most emotional, like, kick in the, like, heart you've ever seen or heard. And it's just like, oh my God. But
yeah,
we get to the end of the episode, and it ends with him getting his head cut off, and we get this really awesome special outro where it's just the music that's playing that has continued on through the whole thing, and we get this really cool like slideshow of his family, of Tanjiro's family, which is super super nice, and that cuts us into episode 20.
Well, so before we carry on, I don't want to say, so this whole scene holds a very special place in my heart when I first watched it. So when I first watched it back, I think I watched it like last year. I have a younger brother who struggled with like substance abuse and whatnot, and he was facing charges for things he did while he was in like a drug-induced psychosis. And throughout the entirety of last year, we didn't know if federal officers would just pick him up. Like each day could have been like his last day of freedom, depending on what the law system felt like. And when I get to the scene of just two siblings and just this act of just like desperation of, if either one of them like doesn't give their all, one of them might die. It just struck this fucking chord in me, and that mixed with the animation. I was like crying for like 3 or 4 minutes after I watched it.
Dude,
it was fucking heavy. It hit me hard, and I still think about that. It's really good. And I tried watching it by itself. It doesn't have the same impact unless you watch the episode, like the 2 or 3 episodes leading up to this.
It's just
man,
goddamn good,
so
dude.
Fucking good. The visuals are so awe-inducing. Ufotable is probably like, along with Mappa, probably one of the top studios in the fucking industry.
It's
so good.
It's so goddamn good. But that leads us into episode 20. And we get the recap of this man getting his head lopped off. And everybody's happy. One of the 12 Kizuki have been taken down. Tanjiro and Nezuko hit the ground like a sack of fucking potatoes. He's all happy. He's rushing back over to Nezuko. But this dude didn't die. What the fuck? Dude, I went from like insanely happy to what the fuck so quickly. I was like, oh my god, dude. He somehow survived. He cheated.
He released his head right before the impact. So
he didn't release it. He cut it off with his own strings.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like he cut his own head off before Tanjiro could do it.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. So a lot of people talk about a lot of people have this thought that despite the what they're going for thematically for with the ending of episode 19, that it's kind of a buzzkill, but at the same time, like, the episode 19 is like not really about Tanjiro winning.
No, it's about the story.
It's about their desperation to try to survive.
Exactly.
And that's what that is.
Man.
And so it's even more crushing that even despite all that effort, Tanjiro still isn't quite nearly as strong enough to take out Rui.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's so depressing. Like, to think that, all this just happened and he still hasn't won. But as he gets back up and he thinks, oh, I've got you now. Oh, man. My boy comes back in again to save another life, dude.
Fucking Q.
Q comes in with his Chad mega ass cheeks. And,
yeah, dude.
This dude just flexes on him. Dead calm.
11th form.
Dude. This is so fucking cool. It's called Dead Calm.
Dead Calm.
And as this happened, everything around him couldn't touch him. The webs that he was using, the strings that he was trying to use to fuck him up were just bouncing off of him. And in one fell fucking swoop, he cut this man's head off.
Mm-hmm.
Easiest fucking day.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, this was crazy.
It's really good. We get some backstory from. We didn't get some backstory from the for the younger daughter, and basically she was chased by slayers and stumbles across Rui, and Rui is like, "Yo, I can save your life, but in order for me to do that, you must become part of my family."
I thought this was Rui's backstory because he was like,
no, that's the next episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway,
that's the next episode. Yeah, but in order for her to become part of Rui's family, she has to drink some of his blood.
They all took a blood pact.
Man, dude, the process is so fucking like they draw it out to show you how fucking excruciatingly like painful it is.
He ripped this chick's fucking skin off
because she doesn't need her new face anymore. She doesn't need her old face anymore. She has her new face.
Dude, he just rips her fucking skin off. And to think that we get this other cool little backstory that the mother is actually just this little girl that he transformed into an adult woman. Like, what the shit, dude? Like, what kind of fucking issues do you have? Like,
but so yeah, they act out their. They got this montage of them acting out their little charade. We got, I think it's from the perspective of the newly inducted younger daughter.
Yeah,
and the rules are extremely strict. No one can revert to their old forms. If you do, you get fucked.
Yeah. And the mom just can't help it. She ends up reverting back to her former skin, and which is where we find out that she's nothing but a little girl. And Rui painfully keeps them in their place, tortures them. And if nobody follows the rules, we get explained from the other sister as he's scolding the mother that if anybody goes against his word, he tortures them and kills them. And the way he does that is he beats them and then pins them to the top of the roof till daybreak and watches them disintegrate. And it's like, holy shit, dude. But she starts telling this all to the newly inducted sister. She trusts her with all of this information, and she wants to run away. And she uses this opportunity to talk to her about running away. And she's like, okay. So she does this, and they both start running away. We get this scene of them both running through the woods, and Rui catches them. But right at the moment where the girl just accepts defeat, the other sister, it shows that she betrayed the other sister, and she just walks up, gets next to Rui, and Rui just in like other words, he just says, "I'm disappointed in you." And then we just get this snap back to her being beaten bloody and just hung up above the thing just so she could disintegrate and die. I was like, oh my god. All that,
and so
just because
we snap back. Yeah, dude. Crazy. And so then we snap back into reality. Oh, there goes gravity. And so she runs into a demon slayer, and I fucking love her power. Where she rolls into like a yarn ball that slowly digests the dude.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. Oh my gosh, it's just this weird knitting ball. Like it looks like a ball of yarn.
Yeah.
And basically it digests people with a specific acid inside of it. and it just turns them into blood sacks. And then she hangs them up into trees, and she comes back and feeds off of their bloody carcasses.
Yeah.
And because it's at this point, it's just liquid and bone. Like, that's how bad it is. But as she starts explaining what the knitting, like, she has some crazy knitting skills. Let's just leave it at that. And two, as she's explaining her evil blood art to this guy, the butterfly lady is in for a sinister and smart breakdown of this little girl. She comes in and just pounds her off of the fucking just pounds them all. Like, I think she ends up in accident, like, cuts the girl at this point. And she tries to get some information out of her, and she just basically says, "Hey, I don't know." Like, she's like, "How many people have you killed?" She's like, I'm trying to forgive you I will forgive you for your sins.
Yeah, I want to be your friend, and I'll even forgive you.
Yeah, I want to forgive you for your sins. And she says, because however many people that you've killed, I will give you that many cuts. Just so you can feel the same pain that they felt. And
she fucking tries, at first she tries to lie about, 3 or 4, I only killed who I had to, because it's forced to. And then she's like, well, what about the other balls we saw? We tracked about 80 to 100. That's quite a lot to be killing people under duress. And she's like, well, I'll be friends. If you've asked for forgiveness, I will be friends with you in the next life. I want to redeem you so that I can be friends with your resurrection. She's on some fucking Coda Hammurabi shit.
Yeah, she really is, dude. But she has such, like, elegant and pretty attacks. And the demon just, like, starts realizing that her sword is, like, cut in a specific way. And she's like, oh, so you don't have enough power to cut me. Like, you don't have enough power to lob my head off. So this is going to be easy. And as she's just talking about how easy it's going to be, this bitch starts having a fucking seizure.
Yeah.
And falls to the ground. And we get the reason why her sword is cut in such a particular way. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's fucking, it's hollow. It's basically hollow. It's hollowed out and has poison in it. And
like, so, she coats her sword
just one
with
little
poison.
nick is all it takes.
Yeah. And this bitch was growing hives, and her blood vessels were poking out of her body, and she just fucking dies. Like, just poisoned. Just dead. It's crazy.
What I like as well is, like, the way it's, like, visualized at first. It's like the shot of, like, a butterfly and just turns to blood.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking awesome.
It's so it's so painful and agonizing looking when she's, like, she's being poisoned, because it's like, I think she said it's a poison made from wisteria.
Yeah.
And that
it's
great.
Yeah, it's really
so good. And then this is we get this little flashback of her asking Yuri why he even made the family in the first place, and he says it because he thinks that doing so would have his memories come back.
Right, because he lost all of his memories of his previous family.
Yeah, that's what happens. So that's the thing that happens, like, most demons. It's like almost all of them have forgotten their past to a certain extent.
Yeah, because they've been alive for so fucking long, for one. But we just get a little cutback to his body, or the main Spider Bros body just being lobbed off from its head. He's still trying to obtain Nezuko even after his head's being lobbed off. So he gets all the way over, his body gets all the way over to Tanjiro and Nezuko and just flops to the ground and starts disintegrating.
That's later. No, that's in 21.
Because it should, like, I wrote it down right here.
I don't think it's. That's where I'm seeing it written down as in 21.
Like, I think where it happens is like it's just you can see his body walking towards them in 20
Maybe.
in 20 because in I have it written
Yeah.
here because I
Because
usually
I don't.
stop and then go to the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I
Um,
don't have that written down in my, and I don't have that written down until 21.
but I mean it
But
continues in
anyways,
21, but
yeah.
either
But
way.
either way, that's episode 20. And unfortunately, I think that's where we're gonna cut it for this episode, right, Red?
Yeah, this is where we're gonna stop because
So,
it's going to get crazy with the next few episodes. Like,
mhm.
I can't wait to cover them because I think we only have what 5 left.
6.
6
Because
left.
21, we get
Okay.
21 through, I think this
So
is 20.
our next
If you're counting
podcast.
21 in the count, then yeah, it'd be 6.
So
Yeah.
um yeah, we got one more recording and we'll be done with
Yeah, we'll be done
Demon
with
Slayer.
Demon Slayer with season 1, and we'll hop back on the Mugen train at some point
Yeah.
after at some point. I'm probably thinking of we can maybe start back sometime in December-ish
Yeah,
or
it
so.
just depends
Because
on when it just depends on whenever basically we're just covering this newer stuff coming out. And once we get done with the first seasons of these and there's no more good to be watched, we're going to start jumping back on it. We're going to
mhm,
start a backup with Demon Slayer and finish it up.
yeah.
Um, and
Um,
I don't know, like, because we
but
really want to
but
focus on this new stuff.
yeah. So I've asked you this, I think, throughout the entirety of us talking about this. But so how do you feel about sleeping? How do you feel about having slept on it for so long, Red?
Uh, after watching episode 19, I was beating myself up. I was like, no way I skipped out on this, dude. Gosh, man. Like, it gave me the same feeling that I got whenever I watched the fight in My Hero Academia when he saves the little girl.
Yeah.
Dude, when I watched that fight, I was like in it. And I felt the same way that
Mhm.
I felt in this episode. Because, or episode 19. Because episode 19 was so goddamn good. It was so good.
It's so fucking
Man,
good.
it was so pretty. Like,
Hmm.
Lord, it was so good. But either
But
way,
I think that's about that. Should I take it away?
sure thing, buddy.
All right. Well, I'm Bofso, the Odor Weeb,
And I'm Red, the bald headed wonder.
and you just got done watching the Anime Boys.
The anime boys.
Boy.
See ya.
See ya.